So there was retirement readiness, fiduciary responsibility, fee regs.
I feel like it became fiduciary responsibility, fee regs, retirement readiness, and here we are now with financial wellness.
As Mark calls them, buzzwords.
Pushing financial wellness.
The industry, we'll say.
Okay.
Other than the participant, who's going to benefit from it? So chew on that. And
Well,
then tell us what is financial wellness.
Let's start with what it is first. So financial wellness, I mean, you can kind of guess, but it's the entire financial picture for that person, for that employee. So it extends beyond their retirement savings, beyond their 401k, to the debt that they have, the car payments that they're making, the mortgage they have, the budget that they've created at home, the spending habits that they use, like Justin in his North Face jacket and his fancy truck, and what else does he spend stuff on?
New bed,
Wow.
new
New bed.
couch.
Yeah.
New couch. Wow. So it's those types
These
of things.
millennials these days.
These millennials. That's
Did you actually get a
someone's
new couch?
No.
financial wellness.
Is it coming in 3 days?
No.
Did
4
you
days.
Purchase one
Somewhere
and
around there.
ship to your home.
Why do we always
like
get back
picking
on
on
point
that.
here,
You're jealous
kids?
of your
Come on.
couch.
So it's that overall
Christmas?
picture, and I think it comes from the concept too that how can you ask these people to defer 10%,
So-
12%, 15 of
Attaching it to retirement readiness too a little bit here. Everything you just stated is about what is currently going on in that person's financial picture. I was excited. We met with Principal this morning, and one of the things Principal said was they were talking to people around this topic around saving for children. So that's something in the
never
future.
really-
So financial wellness isn't just about what's happening now, but it's about what we're gonna
Well,
need to be
entire
saving
spectrum.
for
Right.
and preparing
your
for
college
later in life.
planning. Your,
Yeah.
It's very personal. It accounts for just about everything, and I could use myself as an example as I sort of researched, as shocking as that might be, the topic for the show, but it showed different areas of your entire financial picture, spending habits, right now, like you say, current day, and what I will call retirement investments, things on, and everything in between. You begin to think like, me as a person, like maybe I have experience and I know how to budget well, or I think I do, or I understand my picture, but maybe I'm not savvy on the investment side, or maybe I'm like Justin, I'm terrible on the front end of spending habits. So it gives you
that
a
was a
clear.
dig.
Okay, hold on. I'm
Alright.
not terrible. It's
He's not at all. He's not at all. He's probably better than all of us.
Very good at
but
spending.
it's,
As
as they like to
Wellness
point
is
out, I'm
strong.
single.
True.
JD says I have a low.
phone
True
number right here,
True
Hey,
that.
you went
Twitter
the
handle,
correct
And I'm
way,
kids.
too.
Twitter handle, and
I didn't just buy a brand new house.
Whoa, that was a dig on me.
Wow.
Another thing you said,
know a guy
who
that bought
wants it?
front row
And you
tickets
said,
to
well, the
Ranger,
industry wants it. There were some stats. We'll talk about the T-Row stuff later and share that with our audience. But there were some stats that asked plan sponsors, employers, how important is it to them that their people are saving enough for retirement, like their deferral rates? And the importance was very low. But if you ask those same employers, how important is it to you, your employees' financial stability, their financial wellness, where their head's at in regards to their financial success? And it was very important to
It
them.
has to be.
So in a sense, plan sponsors are saying, no, we're very interested in having happy employees that have a financially sound life for a variety of reasons
but
that
why
we'll cover later.
is that?
Well, we'll cover those
Yeah.
later. We'll cover those later. But before we do that, like every show, we got to go to the beer of the episode.
Coffee of the show. Oh.
You're going to switch from coffee to beer now,
He's going to
Mark.
fake drink it.
And
That's what he's
then-
going to do.
Well, after we do that, I'll explain why those domestic beers are out there.
Jeez, don't talk poorly
Free
about
Holy.
domestic beers.
You know what I kind of missed on our new opening?
Thank you.
What's that, Justin?
There's no PDC on me.
Oh,
Oh,
but there's
yeah.
something they've already sorted that out at the beginning.
By the way, I love that we allow the guy that's sick with a nasty cold to
everything.
touch every beer and open up everybody's drink.
I
I
love
you
the
licked my
label
pen earlier,
on
by
this.
the way.
did because I wanted to keep it.
I love the punk rock skeleton fighter pilot dude or whatever.
Is that a skull on?
Voodoo
weird.
Ranger.
He's got a
gold
cheese.
tooth.
He's got a cheeseburger on his.
Are you gonna
jacket.
read about it?
Yeah, I am. It's an Imperial IPA. It's from New Belgium, which we all typically know in New Belgium. I didn't realize New Belgium was out of Fort Collins, though.
If New Belgium comes out with a new beer, do they
Hang
call
on.
it New Belgium?
New
It,
Belgium.
it tastes
for sure.
like a blend of choice hops. and I smell fresh cut pine, citrus flavors,
I
and
can't smell anything.
I'm not getting any of that.
This is useless. Like,
rich and delicious finish. That's just my take.
Hey, with your age, your eyes are still working so well. I
It
can't
almost-
believe you
if
can
I
see
had
that.
to guess, I would say 9% alcohol, but
Wow.
just
his beerential wellness is
guessing.
going well.
That's
probably
pretty well done. So you've tried it. What do you think?
once again,
If
I
I get in
would,
the pine.
I would love to get something a little more citrusy and
Yeah, you did go
light.
9%. So we
I don't know
already
why
pointed
this
out.
continues to
Why is
happen.
that?
Well, who bought this, by the way?
Who purchased
I
this
did.
beer? Yeah. There you go.
I was just swayed by the logo in the picture.
Oh, it's
Okay.
not. It's not bad.
Guys, we enjoy
Actually, I
these.
like that a lot.
Mr. Chad Johansson's going to have to shift. And before we talk a little more about the details of financial wellness and deliver immense value to our audience, we got to have a little fun. And Mr. Johansson thinks he's a perfectionist. He thinks he can do no wrong. And we're going to challenge him in a taste test of some domestic beers. So,
You sound kind of like Odell Beckham Jr. We see there that's going right now.
That went bad.
we'll
Hey,
talk
I know
about,
I
we'll
can
talk
do
about
wrong.
the Raiders
Just ask
later.
my wife.
Put on this fancy blind
That's the blindfold. I didn't
deal.
realize. He can see.
Actually, I can't. There's a
can't
nose
see.
piece
He's
got
there that
foam
blocks. We should all note that I can't smell anything, though.
We've got some classic domestic light beers.
I don't trust you two whispering over there.
We're gonna shift them around. No, no, no.
So I should have paid more attention to how they were.
We're gonna crack them,
Oh, that would be great.
and you're gonna let us know which one you think.
I
And
really don't trust
If
you
you
all right
if you
now.
don't get all three right, then we're gonna dump them on your head.
Nah. Nay. Okay, am I ready?
Yeah, I called this. Slowly sip. What?
I don't trust Chad doing this.
Oh,
at all.
he's honest.
Yeah.
Wait, are you gonna tell me what were the three options again?
I
There are-
forget.
yeah.
I don't remember.
We can't see.
No,
Yeah.
Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Light.
All right. Where's the next one?
Wait, I thought.
Okay.
Don't you have
I need
to?
to. I need to have all
Okay,
three.
so that's number one.
Oh,
Are you going to go in order and tell us them all?
I say
No, that's
he has
fair.
to. He has.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Can it, how about this? I'll give you just.
That's very fair.
Can you
This
just
is
tell
the
me you
number
think
one
it is?
position. I'll put this in number two. You only get 1.5 sips.
Chad just really wants to get drunk.
Is it hard?
I
Who
think
out there
I know
thinks-
him. I
who
feel
out
pretty
there-
confident in my.
Who out there
Pick
thinks
so
they
far.
could do this? I don't. You can play along at home if you'd like.
Should have paid more attention
Go to your
the
local
sound.
liquor store at 10 o'clock in the morning. Buy a couple tall cans.
I don't know if you can do
Okay.
this if you work at Merrill
think
Lynch
that-
or
I
Morgan
think-
Stanley. That's
I
your
think-
3 spot. We got another one.
Wait, what?
Yes. Someone handed me another drink. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. You heard the crisp crack of the can.
Doesn't mean that's what you're handing me.
No, I
sure
am. I
does,
am.
yeah.
I promise you, I handed you.
Oh,
what I
I'm
just
taking a
cracked.
smaller drink of this one.
I thought I'd get a different reaction out of that.
I can't taste much because I'm sick.
By the way, if you
Yeah.
you're not a good beer taster, I can tell you right now, because the last one was not a light beer. It was something that was supposed to get you going.
No, it doesn't taste like a light beer.
Okay, good.
I think.
I
if you
think
get- if
it
you
went.
get the
You're
first
gonna make
two
me
right-
forget my
All right.
damn order.
Go ahead. What do you think?
I think it went Miller, Coors, Bud Light. Wow.
You're
the-
incredible, dude.
The fourth one, I felt like was an IPA or all four were the same. One or the other.
Miller,
Bud Light.
Light,
Almost.
and what?
IPA.
IPA. So
What is it?
Malt it's old E, bro.
Oh, jeez. It actually wasn't that bad.
You got all of them wrong.
Did I really?
And that was the quiz
Which
of
means
death.
we
No.
pour them all on your head. No,
Yeah.
no. I should do that.
Did I really have all of them wrong?
I would never pour the beer in your head because
Yep.
I really like this couch.
Which order was it?
That was the
Coors,
order.
Bud
Now
Light,
you see
Miller?
it.
Yeah.
You said
Jeez, I thought for sure Coors was second. I felt confident about
Now
that.
someone else could try, but since you have a virus, we're gonna just move on.
You've already battled it, so come on, you've got
good.
the protection set up.
Do one later. All right.
All right,
So,
well, I fail,
yeah.
Good job,
Clearly.
Chad.
How you
Clearly.
handling
and
that?
Justin's driving home.
So let me jump right into some real stats on financial wellness that I thought were shocking yet interesting at the same time. 64% say finances are the largest source of stress in their life. 64% of employees say that their finances are the largest source of stress in their life. 24%, this one was crazy to me, 24% of wages go to consumer debt payments. So they're carrying high loads of debt. And this is the scariest one, and you mentioned to it. I'll put you on the spot. What percentage of them can't cover $1,000?
64%.
64%
Yep.
don't have $1,000 together to cover some kind of an emergency. So all those stats are saying is people are in rough shape when it comes
So
to their
if
finances.
we were that group, 3 of us would be in that situation.
Well, so
everyone's in rough shape.
and so think about that.
Well, if
wouldn't
you would
be
just
me.
sell some more plans.
64%, right?
Yep.
Can't cover. 24% are paying down significant debts. That leads to the other 64%, which feel pressure about their financial situation, right?
I do want to add the 4th step, but it seems so negative. 43% of American adults are financially illiterate. I don't know what the
knows what that
benchmark
quite
is for
means,
that,
but
but that's pretty bad.
What I was getting at with that is that you have the 2 bottom factors that are supporting the first one, which is finances can create significant stress for people.
Absolutely.
You
What
asked
does
the
that do
question
to
earlier,
people,
Mark.
to employers?
Well, that's just it, right? So what does that relate to within a business? I mean, you're a business owner. Think about it. If all the employees were stressed about finances, or 64% were,
And maybe they all are. We should
we don't-
probably just ask.
we don't know.
Honestly, as an employer, that would hit very deep. Like, what you don't want is the people that are out there that are coming here trying to focus on work to be overwhelmed with at-home struggles or things with their finances.
Disconnect yourself from hippie, I love everybody and just wish that everybody would be happy JD, and put yourself in a sole business owner driving bottom line perspective. What is that?
So it's
relate
worse
to?
than the friendly, nice feelings is, are they being attentive? Are they giving good customer service? Are they putting their job first and foremost and throughout their day? Are they distracted? Are they efficient? All those things you would think would be a huge negative if they're struggling.
If they're
financially.
stressed and struggling financially.
Research shows that they're absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're distracted. Productivity goes down, so it's affecting your bottom line.
So let me ask a question that none of this addressed when we read through this T-row, which we'll touch on. If your employees are stressed about their financial situation, what is their engine for driving finances for their family? Their job, right? And if they're stressed about their financial situation, do you think that they're attaching that to the fact that maybe their job's not supporting them in the way they need
Right.
to?
Oh, you're
And
getting
that
real
leads
deep now.
to lack of productivity and unhappiness. And Mark, you brought it up because your prior life is, being an HR person. If all of those things exist, people work longer, they end up sticking around longer. What does that lead to? Which we've heard everybody talk about. Higher expenses when you have older employees. The actual benefit costs go up. Payroll goes up because they've been with you longer, and inevitably they get raises over time.
And no offense, but super old people are just less productive in general.
It is the nature.
Pretty productive.
That's
JD.
not always true.
That isn't adjusted.
But
Now, what about turnover though too? You talk about those
That's right.
people being distracted. Okay, my current job is not, sufficing right now. So I'm gonna go look for another job that's gonna pay me more.
yeah,
All
and,
relevant.
And
So-
that's a huge cost to the employer when you have high turnover.
So before we answer the question I asked earlier, let me ask this question: whose responsibility is
asking so
financial
many
wellness?
questions.
Are you scared to answer?
No.
Whose responsibility is this financial wellness?
Ultimately,
topic
it's the
we're covering?
individual.
Yeah. That's what actually, when you were talking about it earlier, I was going to say, I get that finances can be the number one stressor, but that's a personal matter, right? It'd be the same thing as having relationship issues. Maybe your spouse and you're having a fight, right? Aren't
Maybe you
those-
found a new buzzword.
Yeah.
We could start that ourselves. Having problems at home in the bedroom, or you know?
I didn't say the bedroom.
fine.
Talk to the Retireholics.
Did you talk to my wife? Anyways,
I could create a whole website on that.
so
Marketing pieces.
by the, now I won't even get into it. That's a
All right.
side subject. But so like, a lot of times, right? We're expected as employees of a business to sort of leave those things at the door.
Yeah.
And
true.
some things you can, I get, so you drag it in, but I'm glad you said it because you related it, and this is news to me, not even on the show, but you related it directly to the employer, that your pay is direct from that. So that's a very unique perspective. I appreciate that because the whole time I was sitting here thinking, being that naysayer, this is just a bunch of,
Buzzwords
hocus
and,
pocus and good for the people that want to gain more assets and just have additional value adds to go out
Yeah.
and talk about.
And I want to
But
touch
it's a
on that
real,
after.
it's a real deal issue. And at the end of the day, right, I can go right back to retirement readiness, that fancy buzzword from last year, last year. So you attach that to financial wellness. At the end of the day, why are they working longer and causing you more expenses as an employer? Because they can't afford to retire. So it all kind of comes full
It's
circle.
a full circle.
Yeah.
By the way, I have this image in my head now. Like, hi, I'm Joe from Merrill Lynch. I'm gonna do a PowerPoint presentation today on having a better relationship with your wife at home.
Yep.
And
I'll answer all your questions.
So, Mark, you
So,
said
Chad.
it's personal, which I agree.
Well, we didn't answer your question.
God,
We
this
haven't
beer
got
is-
to that
yeah,
question
beer
yet.
is
No,
thick.
your
How many
your
more
other
questions
question,
does he
yeah.
have?
I think it boils down to it's a personal individual.
Is retirement readiness, being able to retire,
Yeah.
a personal issue as well? I would say
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
But why, as an industry, do we take that responsibility on then?
Because
it's-
without that sort of value that they can bring and sort of bringing it to the table, as individuals, we wouldn't do anything to make changes or to be proactive or to do anything to get
we're,
to a point.
We're to
I
JD's
thought
first
you were gonna
bullet
say 'cause
point.
We want to get their assets into our mutual fund.
So that's my next statement. Get ready. So JD's first point then, if a certain percentage of people, which I already forgot, are financially illiterate, what you're
43.
saying is they're not going to take action. And therefore, we as an industry are taking that
responsible for that.
responsibility on ourselves to say, we're going to try to bridge this gap for you. Right? That's what we're doing. We're saying,
with an evil intention.
so
Fair
that's
enough.
my
Okay,
next
not
Okay.
everyone
question.
has
Back
an
to my
evil
first
intention.
question. So
Evil,
who's going to
but it's-
benefit from it? If we know the participant will,
Yeah.
outside
Should.
of that,
Should.
who's going to benefit from
The
this
employer.
push
The
toward financial wellness and
Employer,
the work
direct
and
He
the
just
education?
debate smoked you right there. You see that? He circled around and he's saying the employer needs this to happen. This is something the employer has to have happen.
Which is why it's a big buzzword right now, is we're trying to attach that as an industry to
Damn,
making a
Chad,
happier
you're a lot
workforce.
smarter than you look. My God.
You don't know
you.
what beer is what, but you know your stuff.
It's true. And it's to piggyback
Wait,
to
but
what,
hold on. You're going and you're saying that the employer is the benefactor of all of this.
Absolutely.
Okay, well
It
I
could
would
be, but
I-
that's not what I was saying.
Oh,
Oh,
I agree
that's
with
what I
you.
thought. Yeah.
Well, then
'Cause
I was gonna
I'm
say
going
that,
to the
'cause
next
I-
level to say that the industry's the benefactor.
Well,
Everybody is.
I think that's the end. What I was saying is whose responsibility is it,
win-win-win.
and then who's going to benefit from
Right.
it. You said
Participant
inevitably,
wins,
hopefully
the-
the participant
sponsor
is.
wins.
And I'm saying
industry
the,
one's
gotta
the,
make
the
money.
employer is, and the industry is. That's why the industry is willing to bridge this gap. While it is a buzzword, their thought is it's going to drive assets.
Yeah.
It's going to create better
Financial
outcomes. It's going to get people to save more because they feel more stable in other avenues of their
I
life.
think it's a good thing. Don't get me
For
wrong,
sure.
but I think it has to be done in the right way. A program has to be established that's not just a way to push people in a direction they don't need to go and to do things they don't need to do. It needs to be really a personal flow on making someone's financial well-being a little bit more well known to them, because
So-
I
But
guarantee they don't have a good
Can we lay
idea.
this out? And I totally get and appreciate your approach, and I agree with a lot of it in terms of the industry just looking for a buzzword. And by the way, that's totally okay for advisor audiences out there. We talked about this earlier.
You have to utilize it.
I want something to wedge the door open. I want something to talk about that's maybe not just 401k. I want different lures in my fishing box that I can use at
Tackle
appropriate
box,
times. Tackle
but,
box.
yeah,
Thanks. Fishing
whatever.
box. Clearly I
Wow.
don't fish.
Neither do I.
But So it is okay for the buzzwords to be known to me and for me to research those and understand them so I can get in there and make some points and wedge some doors open to create opportunities for myself. But then I also agree with you. Then what's the execution? And so is it just PowerPoint presentations? And by the way, is that a bad thing? That I'm going to get in front of everyone, do a presentation from Rowe Price or whatever on where your debt should be, versus your income, and educate a room of 50 people, and they walk home and go, you know what? I have too much debt. I listened to what he said. I need to do something about it. Or does it need to be a more one-on-one, sit down, looking at a personal financial picture, somewhere in between,
probably gonna
all
be
the
both,
things.
a
But
hybrid.
it's all good stuff, right? I mean, it's making a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's adding value to what they're trying to do. Yeah, okay, yeah. The negative side is you see it as the industry is just trying to find a way to make another buck.
Okay, I didn't say that.
I was going to say, I don't think he's.
In a sense.
I think that's.
Okay.
Mark, please.
Strike that from the record.
Yeah, right.
Mark's never going to go
Yeah.
negative guy again.
I'm literally
and you
never going to get
should.
another meeting ever again.
No, so let me jump on that bandwagon a little bit, Mark, because this is where I
you
want
good, buddy?
to.
Our producer needs a beer because he's like, this is ridiculous.
That's important.
I want to bring this thing full circle in terms of where my thought
How
went when I
many
asked the
circles is
initial
this
question.
Circle it and wrap
Getting pretty
it.
dizzy. How about you?
When we talked about who this is going to benefit, none of us said the advisor. Okay? So
I said everybody.
I
can
said
lump
whose
them in.
responsibility is it? We said individuals.
Individuals. Yeah.
But who's going to bridge that responsibility? We said the industry. If we had been more specific, I think when you look at the tools that are being delivered from most of the folks out there, their thought is the advisor is going to use this as a differentiator, and the advisor is going to bridge that gap. Right?
Correct.
Yeah,
But the advisor's not going to be the one to benefit from this. We look at the way the industry is going right now. Thinner margins, costs being driven as low as they can possibly go, and tech, right? So is that advisor going to look at this, unless they're using it as a differentiator to win the business,
Well,
and
that's
then it
what I
comes
think
to
they're gonna have to
fulfillment.
do.
Then it comes to fulfillment of it. Is the advisor going to schedule 3 meetings a year to go stand in front of people and talk about something that's not going to lead to revenue for their practice?
two
They
things.
have to be a
No.
business owner too, and that's why I'm saying I'm supporting your thought.
Okay. But 2 things on that for our audience is, one, that advisor, like you said, maybe they just got to win the business. And so are they making money from that? Yeah,
Yeah.
because they won the business because they brought in that lure.
So
okay?
fulfillment.
When-
Increased
Number
assets,
2,
all that.
and I asked the question, you could charge for this? I
Could.
mean, I realize maybe that and by the way, there can be products that you can sell along this, because I guess you can lean towards insurance, long-term care. Does that fall into this? It does,
All of
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely,
So
for sure.
there are
ancillary
things to sell to make
services
money.
that you can utilize.
In regards to the advisor.
Maybe you build the employer, a couple grand to deliver these 4 meetings a year.
But how much time is that going to cost the advisor?
So that's what
That's
this
the
is
biggest
all
thing,
about,
and
right?
specific to the advisor only.
Fair enough, fair
Are they
enough.
going to be able to put in the time to do that for each individual?
No.
I don't think they have.
No,
Not
but on
each
a
individual,
scale.
but yeah, on a
But
scale.
this is the collaboration I think is valuable for me at least to hear, is because it may not lead to profit. When I look at bottom line for the advisor, it may not necessarily lead to profit other than winning the business. But if you are leveraging the tool that I think we're going to talk about a little bit, which would be this Rowe Price tool, or even like with the conversation we had with Principal this morning, utilizing some of the stuff that they're pushing out there,
What
you
they're
could certainly
building
make that efficient.
is
Yeah,
goes
without
hand
a
in
doubt.
hand with this.
Yeah, you want to have a discussion on. I mean, they talked about saving for future children is the way I interpreted it, and they're giving you a webinar, a pre-recorded webinar to utilize,
Like
and you send that
children
out
of
to all the people.
future, or like college plans.
Well, I interpreted it as for having children.
Oh.
They're targeting younger, millennial, earlier in life, earlier in working career, I should say,
Stinking
type
millennials.
folks.
First of all, so let's start to wrap that circle and let everyone know. And it's not a paid advertisement, but Rowe Price has built out a big thing. So if you want to learn more about this, go to troweprice.com/wellnessworks.
Is that
I
a
think it
forward slash or is that a
I'm
gonna
not
be a
sure. I
forward.
usually
It's a
just look
forward
at
slash.
it.
I like dashes better. They're easier.
Wellness work.
No
Check it out.
shifting.
What is there is statistics, percentages, builds
Tools
the
on how to
story
actually
out.
pitch
There's
this.
pieces, there's checklists, there's questions.
We all know that the DOL and the fiduciary regs are what are flooding inboxes right now, but when the dust settles on that, I think what we're trying to point out is that 8 out of the 10 emails you get in the morning from all the links and websites you subscribe to are going to be about this topic. Tools will start coming out, people will start pushing it. So be on the front end of that and start thinking about ways to implement that
Get ahead
into
of
your practice.
I feel like it attaches to some of that fiduciary definition and release and some of what's happening right now, because it's giving folks an avenue to pursue education, specifically to what we're talking about with T-Row and others, to pursue education beyond the advisor sitting down and giving it.
Right.
There's tools to do this. Make this as part of your practice and your deliverable, and you don't have to sit down and give advice to that individual participant. Leverage the people who are creating these tools.
And if it's not really a core part of your business model, at least be educated on it
know
so
about
you can
it.
talk about it and relate to your employer, because clearly it's important to them.
Because some people, and that's, again, in my prior life, having HR experience, I know that those groups are going to be focused on that if that's a big thing, and they're going to be sitting down with these advisors, and they may not ask the questions because they're always pretty quiet, but they want to hear you say that.
It's what opens their eyes, right? You mentioned
That's what's
something
gonna get
like
that person.
driving down benefit costs. You mentioned something like having your folks feel financially stable and having an educational campaign. That opens their eyes. It gets them excited, for sure.
What I want to say is, now that if you've got wellness in your quiver of arrows, be prepared for the next buzzword, which is your relationships at home with your spouse and whatever, because I'm going to come out with a full website on that. It's going to be like, love your spouse.
Are you still going to be
or-
pictured surfing
What's
on
the
that? Or is this-
buzzword going to be for that, like
I'll come up with something dope.
sexy time?
I feel like Tracy does love him quite a bit, so
You want happy
Yeah.
employees?
should we listen?
You want
Make
a
sure they have
good
a happy
buzzword?
relationship.
So
I don't know. I feel
my-
like it's
my-
an
opportunity for him to
my
talk.
wife doesn't have very good vision, so she had to go pick up contacts yesterday, and she told Maya,
You're
who's
getting divorced
2.5
now,
years old, she said, Maya, we're going to go pick up contacts for mommy. And Maya, without missing a beat, goes, okay, we're going to go pick up mommy's tongue sex. Contacts, tongue sex. That's my daughter.
Those are personal Palmini issues
Wrap the
there.
shirt.
Buzzword.
I don't know. Oh, is that what we call it?
Tongue sex?
So we're going to wrap
That's the
this.
buzzword.
Thank you for spending some time with us here on the Retireholics couch. We will also be in Las Vegas October 22nd through the 24th. Same thing, live shows,
That's loud.
hosting little events.
That is
there.
an awesome conference, by the way.
For
We touched
sure.
on it at some point, but that
Good.
Excel
No.
401k it's fantastic.
Go
for
to it.
advisors.
Go to it. It will be at the Paris Hotel this year, as opposed to the Cosmo last year. Sorry,
It was
LinkedIn
Planet
came.
Oh,
Hollywood.
they have a
dude.
cool
Yeah, we were
bar
playing
there.
Hollywood.
This is Justin McNeil,
Tennessee.
Mark Palmini.
Word.
I forgot what this guy's name is. JD Carlson. We are the Retireholics. Parentheses K. We drink beer.
What are we
I
doing?
know what you're telling me. We changed the retirement plan industry. One Voodoo Ranger New Belgium Imperial IPA at a time.
All the time.
Cheers,
Cheers.
fellas.